You having a stressful day and need a few laughs? Well, you come to the right place. Myself, Lyrican, Mr. Tony Raw, and Jimmy Jam are three fathers formerly in the music industry who have a lot to say. So sit back, sip your cup of coffee, and welcome to the shenanigans.
Welcome to the Coffee Break Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Coffee Break Podcast. We got your Brustello brothers and the Orphan Macchiato down at the bottom. I am Lyrican.
I'm Mr. Tony Raw.
And I'm Jimmy Jam.
Toast, my brothers. How y'all doing?
Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening.
Are we ready for another?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Well, as you see, we are all already over caffeinated. So let's begin by congratulating Mr. Jimmy Jam for having Disney Plus finally, sir.
Hey, look at that.
Watch the episode 1 of The Mandalorian.
How do you feel?
Congratulations.
I'm digging it. I like the whole I'm really into it. I can't wait to see where it goes. I want to be surprised. I want to be excited. So
So I shouldn't tell you that at the end. Oh, no.
But I will tell you this. Today on AMC, there was a Karate Kid day. Like the whole thing was basically Karate Kid. So Christy's like, "Oh gosh, you're in your heaven right now, aren't you?" And I'm like, she's like, "Is this your favorite movie?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." Because I went out with to dinner with Eddie the other night. We were talking Eddie Ward, for those of you who don't not know, and he's a huge Karate Kid fan. So we're sitting there and he goes, "What's the matter? There's our little friend Danielle. Mommy's not going to help you now, Danny." He starts doing all these character things from Dutch.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, that's great.
It was quite funny. It was quite funny.
Totally him.
So I get this random phone call from my uncle, which, I consider my father. And he goes, "Did you know on Netflix they continue the Karate Kid?" I'm like,
Did?
I'm so far ahead of you. I'm on like season 3. He goes, "I just started it. And that Miguel, he's a badass."
It is funny the amount of people that are getting sucked into the cult phenomenon that we've known for years.
Yeah.
So
It's great though. I'm glad our childhood is now feeding a new childhood of kids that don't know about the Karate Kid and are now probably waiting for the Karate Kid to show up on Netflix so they could watch those as well.
Right. Right.
And I think the same thing with The Mandalorian. I mean, it's taken Star Wars and taken it in a whole new different direction. And there's a lot of things. The best thing you guys did was push me to get Disney Plus with the WandaVision and everything else coming out. I'm
Peer pressure.
very happy. The kids are happy. I'm happy. Christy's happy. It was a good move.
It was a good move.
I just watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. It is very, very different than anything Marvel has put out to this point.
Yeah.
Like the first episode, they pay homage to I Love Lucy. So
Yeah.
the whole TV show is based on I Love Lucy. And the second episode is based off of Bewitched.
Oh, wow.
Really?
It's awesome. The premise is she's making up everything in her head with her powers caused by Mephisto, and it's changing the reality as we see it.
Well, thank you for clearing that up because I was watching the promos that they put out.
Yeah.
On both on cable and on Hulu, Disney, whatever you want to call it. And I had no clue where this show was going. I was like, am I going to even really like this?
I was clueless too when I saw the previews. I was like, wait, they're on a couch, they're holding babies. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
They're in black and white. I don't.
Yeah, and then what?
Yeah. Well, they're following the storyline called House of M's, where in the storyline she has a mental break because Vision dies, which she's in love with, and she just goes schizo and causes all the parallel universes to crash. And she literally, with 2 words, killed every mutant in the world, in every multiverse there is. She said, "No mutants."
Well, let me ask you this: is this a prequel to Endgame?
No, this is literally after Endgame, and I think they are going to use this in a reverse because he's dead. It's all in their head.
Okay, so he's really not there.
No, he's not there at this point.
This is a whole mind game for her.
Oh yeah, this is Doctor Strange. Yeah, Doctor Strange has to come help her out, but everything in there is like when you watch it, everybody you could tell is a little off. Everything's in black and white until people bleed, and then you see the red. But it's crazy, and like the pattern of on the wall is the actual building she was held in Sokovia. So you see where she was. So in the storyline, she says no more mutants, which kills all the mutants. But I think Marvel is going to do a reverse of that and say mutants and have her introduce mutants into the world since they acquired Fox. So I think they're going to flip it and use it to and bring in mutants. That's my theory.
Yeah, I really had no clue where this show was going. I
was confused by the preview. I was like, is
it's
this
awesome.
Like are they trying to make it a comedy or like why is I couldn't. All right, now I'm interested.
Yeah, it's different. Don't go thinking it's the regular, comic book stuff. It's totally different. Eventually, it turns into a typical comic book. But word is that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's supposed to pop up in the series.
Oh, really?
Along with some other surprise guests that they have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think you sold it. Good job.
I think so. And then, I have one last comic book one for you. You hear, they said Chris Evans was supposed to return back as Captain America. He has officially debunked it, and he is not returning as Captain America.
Yeah,
I know Jimmy had his Captain America underoos ready to go, but we put him back. I was shocked
because that was actually on ComicCon.com.
Yeah.
And they published this big article and it has him there as Captain America. Chris Evans is returning to Marvel and reviving his Captain America role. If it'll be like an Iron Man type appearance, they weren't sure. And then I was listening to Sirius Radio, and they were going over something. It was like the Top Hits channel, and they said, and by the way, today Chris Evans came out and said, no, he is not returning to the role of Captain America. In fact, that was news to him that somebody put that out. And I was like, well, debunked that myth.
Just people talking.
Yeah.
But you know where that's going. You saw Endgame.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, who got the shield? Who got the shield?
Yeah, Falcon.
Yeah. So...
Well,
I mean, what are they going to call him? Captain Falcon?
That's his name. But the TV show, he's not the only one with the shield.
See, now they just throw. That's so confusing. It's like
Tony, I could take you down a
don't ruin
rabbit hole, and we're not going there.
Trust me, I know this whole podcast would just be about Captain America if it was up to Tone or Jimmy, but we can't do that. So we just have to watch and learn and then figure it from there.
In fact, it's funny because right before we were started to record, my friend Colin texted me because I had messaged him as well. He's a huge comic book fan. And he said, no, he has a problem. He doesn't think, basically, he didn't think this was going to happen. He wasn't sure about it. So I'll have to definitely tell him that it was debunked.
As an avid comic guy, I will be okay if Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans do not return. Now, I know they're saying that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as the artificial intelligence, but I'm okay with no more Tony Stark, no more Iron Man himself. I'm okay with it. He left that role at the peak. He did his Michael Jordan fadeaway and walked away.
I'm not okay with it. I hate that Iron Man's dead. There you go. Case closed. He was he was the funniest. He was the most sarcastic, and I think Downey Jr. played that role to a key. I mean, that honestly, it feels like that role was made for him.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's just his character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
you look at him,
whatever
throughout his roles. I mean, starting out with Weird Science, Back to School.
Yeah,
yeah.
What was some other movies he was in? Oh God,
Gothica.
He was in Gothica too. That's right.
Yeah,
with Halle Berry.
Yeah, and wasn't he in or was it the Zodiac? Was he in the Zodiac?
Yes. He was the detective, I thought, or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's been around the block, and his sarcasm is tier 1.
I mean, out of all the roles he's had, Due Date was a great role for him. That was funny, with Zach Galifianakis. But
Yeah, that was great.
Out of all his roles, I think he found his home with Marvel. I do. I think that's where he found what would make him.
He found the home. Now he's dead.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, you know who that role was supposed to be for before Robert Downey Jr., right?
No.
Tom Cruise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was Jon Favreau that pushed for Robert Downey Jr. because they wanted, because he, Mission Impossible was amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy they did not go with that route.
No, I don't like Tom Cruise like that. I can't see him as a superhero. Yeah, super agent, blah, blah, blah. But nah, I think he would have ruined that role.
I think he's too short for the role.
I think the right person played the role. Speaking of something, here's another fact while we're talking about, did you know this person was going to do this and this person was going to do that? The movie Breaking, taking you back to the 80s again.
Here we go. Go ahead, old guy.
Okay, so the theme song, which is by Ollie and help me out, Tone.
And the Chestnuts.
Yeah. I think it was originally supposed to be done by Corey Hart. And
the wrestler?
No. The guy that sings I Wear My Sunglasses at Night?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
Bret Hart's brother. Remember him?
Yeah.
Corey Hart.
That was
Owen Hart, buddy.
I know.
I'll have to look it up, but there was something the other day on the radio about that. When they were doing an 80s at 8 top something,
Top whatever, yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about it, and that the song from Breaking came on, and they were like, by the way, this was supposed to be done by so-and-so. And when his album came out, it was like the number 8 on the album. They were going to release it with this. And they're like, no, you can't release it with this movie. It has to be released on its own. So they took that song from the movie. He released his own soundtrack or his own album. That was the lead song. And then they got that Ollie and so-and-so, I can't remember the name of the artist, to do
the Chestnuts.
Yeah. Ollie and the Chestnuts to do Breaking. Yeah.
Okay, look at that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, your old people Snapple fact of the pod. Copyright pending. Oh,
he does
man.
it to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have these like useless facts I have to throw in here occasionally.
Uh-huh.
Well, Jimmy facts, we'll call them, instead of car facts.
They're
Jimmy facts.
They're just pointless facts. That's all.
Acorn facts, right from The Godfather.
Acorn facts, yes.
All right, so I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Yes,
well, first, I need to get this. How many heads are on the Mount Rushmore?
4.
Is it 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Or is it 5?
4.
4.
I'm going to say
All
4.
right. So
Washington, Lincoln, Truman, and I can't remember the fourth one. I didn't go to
Come on, historian. I didn't pay attention in school. It's just an old guy.
So I'm gonna start with you, Raw.
Oh God.
Because this was a conversation I had in the barbershop. So I wanted to bring it to you.
Oh,
this is gonna lead this is gonna lead to my part 2 of this question. Who is on your Mount Rushmore? Us being hip hop eds, who's your Mount Rushmore of hip hop?
Is this dead or alive or whatever?
Yep, dead or alive.
Oh,
and are you wanted dead or alive? No, I'm sorry.
Dead or alive.
All right, so top 4. Who's my Mount Rushmore? Well, a lot of people are going to disagree, maybe, but I don't care. Number 1 slot, Black Thought.
Ooh.
Okay. Number 2 slot, Eminem. Number 3 slot, KRS-One. Anybody?
I'm taking it all.
You with me? Number 4 slot. I heard that song. Number 4 slot is going to have to be. Oh man, it's a toss-up, but I'm going to say Redman. That's my Rushmore.
You got one, or you want me to go first, Jimmy?
I don't have the usual.
I don't have like individual artists. Like I would have to say, Sugar Hill Gang is one bigger.
Agreed.
Okay.
Slick Rick.
Rebirth, yeah.
I'll throw Eminem in there.
Okay.
Because he was doing his own thing.
He looked like me.
We resemble one another, and that's why he's on there.
We're friends. We're brothers. Go ahead, number 4.
And I'm trying to think. I'm gonna have to pass on the 4th one. I can't figure one out. So,
all right, Tone, you.
I got Slick Rick on mine,
which I'm not surprised about.
Yes, I have Nas on mine.
Mm-hmm.
I have Pun on mines.
Mm-hmm.
And I have Jay-Z on mine.
Okay.
Jay-Z's the only reason and I argued about this one because it was Jay-Z or Black Thought to me.
Yeah.
And I think Jay-Z's body of work and business aspect, taking the streets to the business side, is what makes him that much of a figure. I almost had 50, but I think Jay-Z did more. And plus, he got the most beautiful singer in the world as his wife. So
that's cheating.
I just look at it from founding father type.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're going from, we're going from our roots or what like my top 4 was, when you said Mount Rushmore, I was thinking not their success here. That I'm talking, my first thought is lyrics. You know what I mean? I don't care if they sold 100,000 albums or if they sold 10 million albums. My top 4 was lyricists. That's how I look at that kind of thing.
And Tony, if I am correct, you did DJ for the Sugar Hill Gang at the Village, correct?
Exactly. And Tone was there also.
We killed that, but we killed. Hey, I opened up for Slick Rick too.
Well, look at that. That was a good time. That was at the Village.
And Lisa we did too. That was a great one.
Yes, we did. We opened up for Lisa. Great show.
It's funny that you both put Eminem on yours because that was the main discussion is Eminem as great as everybody says he is. And the main question was, what Eminem song is replayable?
For where?
Anywhere.
Like the club or the car or your iPhone?
Let's go with just pop culture, TV, club, any of the sorts.
All right, Jimmy, I'll take this. The first part of the question, Tone, was Eminem. Why is he on my top list, basically? Mm-hmm. Correct? Okay. I know a lot of people talk crazy stuff like, oh, he's not the best because he's not the best. See, like I said before, I don't look at album sales. I'm not a numbers guy like that. Like when I listen to his stuff, and honestly, his best stuff is stuff that's not even on his albums. Okay? Meaning, how many albums does he have? A ton. But
the Infinite EP.
Okay, yes. And the one he just released, Music to Be Murdered By. I'm sorry, that was a great album. That was probably one of his best albums I ever heard. Even before the whole Slim Shady thing, all that stuff. But just now, very impressed with that. But I'm not a big album guy these days. But lyrically, like, I'll look at all the specials that he did with Slaughterhouse, the whole, all the stuff on YouTube that he does separate from just music on albums or singles on the radio is the stuff that attracts me to him lyrically. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of his music, I think a lot of it is cheesy and it's fun to listen to. And he purposely makes those kind of songs, okay? Because that's what makes the crowd all, cuckoo and stupid. But I like his underground when he's actually spinning and it's like you really have to like rewind it, like what the hell did he just say and how he just.
So you're almost saying Slim Shady versus Eminem, his Slim Shady antics, and so if you take the Slim Shady part out there, he's actually a really hardcore, educated MC.
Oh, he is. He's a smart kid, man, or a man. I mean, just the way his brain thinks. Like half the time, you got to stop and really listen to what he said, like his wordplay, and it's just the way he thinks and expresses things. It's like, what the hell did he just say? You really got to bring it back to like relearn what he just said. That's why I'm impressed with him. But like, and then your second part of the question was music wise, with like a single or something that's really stands out. You mean?
Yeah. Like in the when you've DJ'd clubs, Or matter of fact, Jimmy, when you've done weddings, has anybody requested an Eminem record?
Oh my gosh, the real Slim Shady.
His
At a
first
wedding?
track.
Yeah.
At a wedding?
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Like when they're all
Wow.
drunk
Edited,
later in the night.
The edited version, yes.
Like I could see the him and Rihanna record because that's a dope record.
Top
That's
40 hit.
But Slim Shady at a wedding?
Later in the night. Later in the night when they're all crazy, right, Jimmy?
I can go through a couple playlists that it's been on.
Wow.
Because I save my playlist from each wedding. So
Yeah.
I know when I'm hitting something good that I can relate to another wedding, I'll go back and forth between playlists.
That's a good measure. Like, oh, I could throw this in, blah, blah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. Been there, done that.
Nice. I must say, this conversation was a lot more, had better logical points than the barbershop argument.
Really?
Because it turned into an argument versus like a debate whether, like, because I said, I like the Eminem side. I like Slim Shady, but I can only tolerate it as much as I can tolerate reggaeton, about this much.
Yeah, I was going to say about this much.
But when Eminem raps, like if you go to that first album, before the album, Infinite, whatever it was, that album, bars. The music to Murder 2 and even Kamikaze.
Kamikaze, I love Kamikaze.
Amazing records.
Great album. I like it. Anyway.
What else you got?
Which avenue?
What else you got?
Jimmy's on his fourth root beer over there, like
this. It's like I'm hyped up over here. Give me more.
All right, so you want to stay on the pop culture side, and so we have a bunch of movies coming out this year. If movies actually come out, either in theaters or on the streaming services, we have King Kong versus Godzilla. We have Space Jam 2. We have, for the comic book guys, we have Black Widow. We have the new Tom Cruise movie where he's Mission Impossible guy again.
Mission Impossible, Part 57.
I think he's gonna make those two. He's about 96 years old. They're just gonna
be in a walker.
his face on somebody else. I need another Mission Impossible movie. Like I need another Fast and Furious movie, which we're gonna get.
Of course we are.
Dom now has a brother who's steroid infused John Cena.
Oh, perfect. See,
I think it's the last one. I think it's the last one, though, they said.
They say that every movie. This is the last ride, guys. Let's do this. We all go home. We're family.
Anything to get an extra, another box office hit, which it won't be. It won't be. I don't think it will be. And another Fast and Furious. I mean, how much can they stretch the story out? It's like, come on, John Walker, or what was his name? John Walker?
John Cena?
Johnny Walker's an alcohol. That's
not what I was saying. The guy that passed away, God rest his soul.
Paul Walker?
Paul Walker. What did I say? Oh, I said Johnny Walker. Okay. Paul Walker. Like how much he's gone. Like how much you going to stretch this story out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they tried with the Tokyo Drift. I mean, that was cool. They connected it later on, but it's like, okay.
It's
whatever.
a franchise.
And then you said Space Jam 2?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I heard they're redoing it. Not redoing
really?
it. Yeah.
I seen the clip of it. It's with LeBron James, Jim Carrey, obviously the Looney Tunes, and the guy from It is in it. It's it's a little more adult. That. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, hey. I still like the first one where you have the 30-foot Michael Jordan arm slamming onto the
Exactly. That was the first one. I mean, really, can you do a spin-off of that? That's gonna be as popular as the first one. I'm sorry. I'm that negative guy with movies and spin-offs. Drives me crazy.
Well, how many stars have you given it, Tony Raw? -16.
-20. Thank you. Crazy. Anyway, Jimmy, what do you think?
What do you think?
I don't know. It's a classic. It's a classic. I don't see it being redone well. They're going to try. And, they're going to bring in some heavy hitters, like you mentioned, LeBron James, Jim Carrey. I mean, they're going to bring in the heavy hitters to put them up on the screen. I don't think it's going to do the justice that the first one did.
I agree.
So, Mr. Tony Raw, I got a personal question for you.
Oh Lord, stop the recording.
How's the packing coming along? Since you are now buying your own something a bit.
All right, so I'm going to rewind what Tone said. Moving objects around is doing very well.
Telepathically?
What's that?
Telepathically?
Right. It's all telepathical. And that's not anyway. Home life is good. Okay. So it's supposed to be a hey, yay, and it's bad luck if you talk about it before it happens. What kind of
I will tell you this. Christy said this weekend we were sitting around talking. Said, you know what? You need to take Anthony and Tony to the campground and come back that weekend and use that as your podcast. And I was like,
oh my God.
Lord.
I don't know how that's going to turn out.
Why do I have a feeling he's going to drop us off at immigration?
All right, guys, I'm tired of you teasing me all these years. You're going back.
All right, Vatos, take that creamer.
Hey, guys, could you start running across that border over there?
Run and keep waving your hands.
There's a bunch of cholos over there. The one has an Italian hat. He's trying to pretend to be Haitian.
You're horrible, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. Why are you trying to?
You are.
Why are you trying to get us away from immigration, man?
I don't know.
We helped you become a lawyer and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and now
I'm a lawyer.
Man, there's no love here.
No, but she did. She said we should use that as a jumping point. Like,
oh my God. Zoom.
You're talking about
how's that again?
What do they call when a bunch of men just go into the woods and have a bonding moment?
Brokeback Mountain.
Well, count me out of that one. I mean, I know you two love the woods and camping, so
hey. There's no woods at the campground. It's open.
As long as we have a tent, we're good.
Hey, Tone, is this why Jimmy said he's always on the bottom on the first pod?
Yep.
But hey, I've never been camping whatsoever in any type of way, so I'm for it. I'll just bring my chastity belt.
It's not really camping like you think. So,
well, glamping.
Yes.
Yeah, literally. It's luxury camping. That's it. I mean, he's got a big thing. It's got a microwave, a stove. It's got everything. It's got a shower, right? It's got everything, right?
A big thing. Wow. Do we have Wi-Fi there?
Is there Wi-Fi there? Probably.
What the hell's Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
No. I didn't.
That's an old guy moment.
There is Wi-Fi there, yes. But
honey, what are the hash browns? All right.
Like Wi-Fi. God, is that like a Puerto Rican dish I don't have?
Honey, let's go try to do Wi-Fi with some rice and beans.
The guys are coming over tonight and they want Wi-Fi. I don't know what to do.
These damn Puerto Ricans that are dishes.
How do we Uber Eats Wi-Fi? These damn Puerto Ricans.
Can somebody call El Serrano's and get some Wi-Fi over here, please?
I need 3 large orders of Wi-Fi, please. Oh, I got a headache.
Oh.
Can't stop laughing.
Hey, I'm pretty sure everybody at Jimmy's barbershop is laughing right now. Jimmy, do you want to give your barbershop a shout out for playing us?
Please do so.
I have Gladfelders in East Petersburg. They're listening to us. They have a great time So Scott, Pops, Steve, Subpoena, they're all great. And thanks for playing us over the air.
No doubt. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We love you. And thank you for keeping our Jimmy looking young and beautiful.
And Tone, you should give our barbershop a shout out too while we're at it.
Hey, Thunder, baby. My boy Ed keeping me sharp and clean, baby. I mean, all he does is shave Tony's head. All he does is shave Tony's head. That beard never gets
$30 to
cut.
shave my head. God, Ed, you're making out, bro.
Yeah, because you have what, like 3 follicles up top?
I got about 7 now. Watch yourself.
So I do have to talk about this.
Okay.
The Steelers football. I am a diehard Steelers fan. If anyone knows me, they know I love my Steelers.
Mm.
And I still do, but they came out 11-0 and they lost to the Browns in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel good, the Browns lost today.
Somebody's head got a little bit too big. I think, you guys, you're an Eagles fan, Anthony.
Yes.
You lost your head coach. Tony, who's
again?
Look, I'm very upset with my team. Like, how do you go from winning a Super Bowl 2-3 years ago? He had one bad season, but they're saying that they're saying that he lost the locker room.
No, their quarterback lost the locker room.
That him too. There's a whole bunch of he said, she said, and it's really just a big high school going on that you don't really know what happened. And I don't think we'll ever know what happened. So, but they're saying Doug Peterson is going to end up on the Seahawks as their offensive coordinator. So we're probably screwed anyways.
I mean, the way this season has shook out, I really, the way it started for, at least for me, and where I thought we were going and where it wound up.
Mm-hmm.
And I purposely don't watch the games because I feel like it's bad juju. If I watch the game,
want to give that bad juju. You're one of those, huh? Oh man.
Oh yeah, I have to wear a certain sweatshirt.
I do too.
Yeah,
I wear the same shirt every Eagle game. But so you guys know, as of right now, the Saints are beating Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So hopefully Tom Brady gets the shit out of here. And this is they said that the quarterback for the Saints, Drew Brees, this is his last year.
Is it?
He came out and said he's retiring after the season.
Well, I think he had a great run. So,
oh my God, he's probably going to go down as probably one of the best Saints quarterbacks ever.
Yeah, I can't talk any junk on him.
If Tom Brady wins for any reason, I can tell you I'm done watching football because it's fixed. And Subpoena, my barber, said the same thing. She believes that they would arrange it for Tom Brady to try and win. He went from the dynasty that they said they were to like a no name, and this one guy's going to turn around this whole team. They're going to win. Like, no, come on now. This isn't Rudy.
Rudy. He said, "This isn't Rudy." Yeah. I mean, I don't have much to talk about. I'm a Giants fan, so we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. So with that, gentlemen, we're gonna wrap it up for this episode of the podcast. Any last words, Mr. Jimmy Jam?
No, just keep supporting us. Thanks for listening, for downloading, for watching. Go to YouTube, subscribe, and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Mr. Raw?
Same thing over here. I'm a big social media head, so please follow us on Facebook, on our Instagram page, and of course our YouTube page that we just started out. We're trying to get the viewership up so we can give you guys even more and more inside stuff that you can laugh at, because we record a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff we haven't released yet, so pay attention.
And on my end, I just want to thank you, everybody that listens, downloads, adds us on social media. We love the support. This is our first time doing it in 8-9 years, and we're happy it just took off the way it did. If you have any ideas for topics you want to leave in any one of our social media topics, in the comments, DM'd us, add us on social media. And with that, gentlemen, cheers. Have a good night.
On to the next episode.
See ya.
This isn't Netflix. They just can't keep going, Jimmy.
I want to thank everybody for listening to another episode of the Coffee Break Podcast.
One. Come on, hurry.
Make sure you subscribe to us on your favorite podcast streaming service. And of course, follow us on all social media platforms and like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to the shenanigans.